Good morning, everybody, and happy Independence Day, and happy New Comic Day. That's right. For all the comic stores that are open out there, comics are out on the shelf. And also, the 6th issue of Man of Steel is being released today. That's right. The 6th and final issue of Bendis' Man of Steel miniseries hits shelves today. So I figure I'd come on here and talk about the 5th issue. Hopefully not spoiling anything if you haven't read it yet. So just be forewarned, I'm going to go through the book, talk about it, so there may be some spoilers here. But I'm also about to spoil the ending of issue 4. But let's open the book. All the previous issues have opened a shot on a planet, a circular motif. This one opens with our villain's eyes looking down at the bottle city of Kandor. Again, Kandor I did not know was part of the current continuity, but clearly it is, or should I say it was, because right after this, Kandor, or in the previous issues, Kandor had been destroyed. Kandor is no more. That is a new, a new status for Superman. All right. Our artist in this issue is Adam Hughes, and he does a very dark take on the story. It kind of changes the tone of the book, but it doesn't break it. It doesn't break the tone. It doesn't take it away from, what has come before and where the story is going. We open up with Superman hauling, I keep forgetting this guy's name, hauling our villain off into space, which is interesting because I'm going to spoil the ending of issue 4 right now. If you haven't read it yet, I'm sorry. But in the end of issue 4, it appeared that Superman had destroyed the Fortress of Solitude with both of them inside of it. And I thought there would be some repercussions from that, but I guess he did it just to, hey look, the covers go together. I guess he did it just so he can knock our villain out and drag him into space. Okay, he takes him up. Our villain wakes up, does a gruesome punch to Superman, knocking him down to the moon. Then we have our space fight. This is crazy. It's Superman's. This guy's getting the best of Superman. I don't like to see that. Bam, bam, bam. Superman is not faring well in this battle at all. It's very, wow. It's a very dark day for Superman as he's just getting his butt handed to him. He sees this symbol on our villain's sword, or villain's staff, I should say, and our axe. I guess it's an axe. He's gonna get. Is Superman about to get his head cut off on this axe? And this means something that we'll just look into later. Kaboom! He does knock the Man of Steel out, and now he's heading back for Earth. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit because I don't want to spoil the bit about what happens with Lois, Superman's wife, and Jonathan, Superman's son. I'm going to leave that for you to read, so I'm just skipping over a big section of the book. And we find ourselves back in Metropolis with Chief Moore, who, following Batman's instructions, is trying to look at the fires that are happening all over the city, the arsons, and seeing if she can see a pattern. I don't see one. But it's nice that they're cutting between this cosmic battle with Superman and this very grounded story about arson in Metropolis. Now, while Superman's in space, though he's been helping with the fires, it looks like his cousin Supergirl is stepping in. It's a great picture of Supergirl. Not very detailed, but nice. This is a really good shot of Supergirl here as she's talking to Chief Moore. She's wondering what happened. She's wondering if the Chief knows where Superman is. But then there's a call from off panel. We'll find them. Dun, dun, dun. The Justice League is on the scene. I gotta say, Cyborg looks really weird. He looks like he's in pain the way he's standing. Hal looks great. Batman looks good. Obviously this is not illustrated. This is a picture of a fire truck that they kind of just superimposed Batman on. Wonder Woman's floating in the air here. And here's where the book starts going bad. The Flash, I don't understand. I've read The Flash off and on for years. I've read several different versions of The Flash, but I'm just not understanding which version this is. This feels more like the Justice League movie version than it is what I've read in the books before, but we'll keep moving on. Kara's really upset. Wonder Woman's trying to console her. I know, Dan, I know. If you had seen what he had done, but then she realizes Superman's up in space, on the moon, and takes off to go find him. And she goes, if you can follow me, follow me. It's, again, a solid book by Bendis. Great shot of Supergirl flying to the moon. She sees, dun, 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 and she finds Superman all bruised and battered. This is almost an homage to the Crisis on Infinite Earth issue 7 cover where Superman is holding Supergirl's lifeless body. Now Supergirl's holding Superman's lifeless body, and he is beaten pretty bad. We cut to the Hall of Justice, which I didn't know was a thing in the comics. I always thought that was just a Supergirl thing, a Super Friends thing. But I guess clearly the Hall of Justice does exist in DC current continuity. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool the building looks like it did in the cartoon. Now inside we find, looks like a little cut and paste artwork here by Adam Hughes. And here's also more of where the book goes sideways. Let's see. Maybe his power source is limited. And what's this line? Maybe he's full of caca-poo-poo. And then again inside, Cyborg says, look at him. I mean, caca-poo-poo on some level. What happened to Flash? Did he get zapped with a ray to give him the mind of a 4-year-old? My daughter doesn't even say caca. My daughter never said caca-poo-poo. I don't know anyone who says caca-poo-poo. Of any age, especially an adult superhero who's been around for generations, who's died and come back, and goes and drops lines like caca-poo-poo. This, I don't know what Bendis is doing here. Everything else is written well in the book, but this is standing out. This whole panel stands out as a mess. It's clearly a cut and paste job. It's not. Superman looks really bizarre laying in the bed. This whole scene is a bit blah. So Superman's thinking about the symbol he saw on the axe. All the other heroes are chit-chatting about it. There's a whole nice scene where Superman's talking about how sad Supergirl is about what happened with Kandor. The superheroes, this is a good shot. This is nice. The superheroes are chit-chatting. Cleanse, he said, cleanse like a zealot. Did Krypton have religious zealots? Did they inspire any, historically? I'm pretty sure we've dealt with religious zealots from Krypton before. But moving on, Superman's to cleanse Krypton. And they're chit-chatting, and the Superman, he just realized something. What? And this is a great shot. I got to say, this next shot, I love this shot of Superman flying, putting his cape on, leaving the Hall of Justice behind. He takes off, and not Lois, Wonder Woman tells Kara to stay behind, that she now, if something happens to Clark or something happens to Superman, she will be the last of the Kryptonians, and it's better that she stay behind. Then there's this shot which looks like it was just kind of taken from one of the Superman movies with Christopher Reeves. It's kind of Christopher Reeves' pose that he would fly around the earth at the end of every movie, but I like to see it here because it's a nice tribute. And then Superman flies and crashes into the ground, and I'm going to leave the book there because I'm not going to spoil the ending. I know issue 6 is out today, but I'll leave it for you to read if you want to. I'm telling you, get to your comic shop. Most comic shops hopefully will have all 5 issues on the shelf. If you don't have any yet, please, please, please pick this book up. Pick this whole series up if you can and read it. I cannot recommend this enough. Bendis really has a feel for the character. And I wonder if just the celebrity of Bendis overrides what the editors say. I'm sure that when Caca-Poo-Poo came across the editor's desk, there had to be a moment where he gave pause and thought that this shouldn't be in here. But when you're dealing with a celebrity writer, the level of Brian Michael Bendis, I'm sure Caca-Poo-Poo gets to go in the book. It's wow. Not what I would have done. Yes, I think Brian Michael Bendis is worth the money that they're spending for him because he's really, at least for this series, I know the sales aren't what DC had hoped they would be, but for this series, I think that Bendis really has a feel for the character. This is the Superman I want to read. I've read some of the New 52 Superman, and it really wasn't the Superman I wanted to read. However, this is 100% the Superman I want to read. This is the Superman I think as a society, as a culture, that everybody recognizes and will identify with. So somebody coming off the street who doesn't necessarily know the story of Superman, doesn't know the current continuity, doesn't know much about the character except for what we know is this is, part of their cultural zeitgeist, this series is a perfect gateway or introduction for them. So I wish it wasn't $3.99 an issue and coming out weekly, because I would buy second copies or third copies even and give them to friends, let them read about Superman, hopefully use that as a gateway to get them into reading comics, because if you're a fan of the original Christopher Reeves movies, you're definitely going to like this series, because that's the voice this Superman has, the voice of a hero, not what we saw, say, in the Justice League movie, where he was a kind of sarcastic and not really likable guy. So I recommend, I say it all the time, I highly recommend this series. Go to your local comic shop today and pick it up. Today is New Comic Book Day, so issue 6 will be in stores. I'm going to go to the comic shop today and pick up issue 6 because I cannot wait to read it. And yeah, so that sums up what I've read so far in Man of Steel. It's a great book. The thing with the art changing from issue to issue is a little bizarre, a little strange choice. And in trade paperback, I don't think it's gonna read that well. But in single issue format, it's great. This is a great series. I highly recommend it. I've said that about a dozen times now. Counting all the other videos, I've said it about 24 times. I just can't say enough how good this series is. If you like Superman, you're going to like Man of Steel. I'm going to the comic shop today to pick up issue 6. I'll pop back here and maybe talk on it. Until then, hey guys, stay cosmic.